Hello, word nerds. I am your host, Spencer. Welcome to the dictionary. Let's just dive right in to the words. The first word. It's funny, I actually have this word staring me right in the face on that monitor because I brought up a browser window, a World Wide Web browser window, and what do you think it says? That's right, it says Google. Whew, Google. Verb from 2001. It is often capitalized because it is the name of a company, thing, and all that stuff. So, what is the verb Google? It is to use the Google search engine to obtain information about on the World Wide Web. And an example of the type of thing that you might be looking up information for could be a person. Don't really know that they needed to add that example, or if you're going to put in example, maybe a couple other examples. Yeah, this is from Google, which is a trademark for a search engine. And, I mean, I think they got the name from something, but the name for the thing that they got the name from is not in here. Where did Google get its name? Yeah, sure. Let's try that. It is named after something else that actually is coming up in this episode. So, it's a misspelling of something else. Interesting. Okay, so, I guess we need to talk about Google for a second. It's just funny how people have this is now what we say. We've been saying it for a long time. We just say, oh, let's go Google that. Even though you might not necessarily be using the Google search browser website, you still say Google. It has taken control of our minds, our bodies, our culture, our society, our words. It has changed our language. Eventually, this company may not be around anymore. We might not have this Google search engine that has taken over the world, and then this dictionary is going to be old. It's going to be like, we got a new term? Would it be the people of the future? If you are listening to this or watching this, hello, people of the future. They'll understand that. And they may be like, what is Google? What is this thing? We don't understand it at all. We're going to go back to typing and nature. Let's see. Anything else about Google? There was that movie, what was it, Hot Tub Time Machine, where that one guy, Lou, he went back in time and he knew about Google. And then so there was an alternate future and he created Loogle. Google, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I use Google. It's the default. That's the standard. It's the gold standard, to use a recent word. All right, let's move on to what sound effect are we going to make? We're going to go, what should we do? We'll just go, Haroyu. I love making sounds. Okay, next is googly-eyed. 2 words with a hyphen. Googly-eyed. Adjective from 1926, 100 years ago from the time of recording. That movie, one of my favorites, Everything Everywhere All at Once, has a lot of googly eyes. The synonym is goggle-eyed. Goggle-eyed. So, guess you got to go back to the gogs to learn about goggle-eyed. I just think of googly-eyed as, yeah, my eyes are googly and they're shaking all about. Shake your eyeballs. Shake your eyeballs. Okay, that's googly-eyed. Not as interesting as I was hoping it would be. That was very sad to me, so I'm gonna go... Next is Google. Now, this one, I believe... Now, so Google, the first one, the search engine, just says Google. This one, though, looks like it's more pronounced Googol. You kind of have to say a gol at the end, because it is spelled Googol. Googol. Noun from 1938. Let's just confirm that pronunciation. Google. Google. Okay, so it is the figure 1 followed by 100 zeros equal to 10 to the 100th power. That is a lot of zeros. The thing about this is that 100 zeros is not divisible by 3, and so it's not like, million has 6 zeros, 1 million, 1 billion has 9 zeros, 1 trillion has 3 more zeros. I think that number would be 27. No, it would be, I have a sneeze coming. It would be, it's 6, 9, 12. So a Google is not like a one. It's like not a one thing. It's just one with 100 zeros, and I don't know where that fits in. So like, let's just look it up. What is one with 99 zeros? That would be, that's a duo trigintillion. That's a one duo trigintillion is a one with 99 zeros behind it. And so technically, if I am understanding this correctly, technically a Google is 10 duo trigintillion, I think. I'm just going to say I'm correct, of course. So people were like, there's got to be something special, a special name for something, a one with 100 zeros behind it. And it is now called a Google. And so 1938, that's when they invented this name. And who did it? Why? What's going on? This was coined by Milton Serrata, who was born about 1929. And he was the nephew of Edward Kasner, who was an American mathematician who died in 1955. And so if you are looking at these numbers, if you are remembering all the numbers that I just said to you, you might be thinking, now wait a minute. Milton Serrata was only 9 years old when this word was coined. And if I remember correctly, I think I've heard the story that it must have been Edward Kasner who was like, what would you call this? To my nephew, what would you call this? You're a child. And he called it a Google? I think we need to look up story of Googol. And there's another one. Now, is it the same thing? Well, listen, we gotta go on straight into the next entry, which is Googolplex. We added plex at the end of it. What is this, a wrestling move? This is a noun from also 1938. It is the figure 1 followed by a Google of zeros equal to... Whoa. Oh my God, this is an Inception situation. 10 to the 10 to the 100. Also, which is very interesting, 10 to the Google. So the word Google is in superscript, as if you are... So does that mean that a Googolplex is 10 to the 10 duo trigintillion? That's... what even is that? How many zeros would that be? I need to look that up. How and why does this number exist? How many zeros in a Googolplex? We have to add the plex. A Googolplex has exactly 10 to the 100 zeros. Wait. Oh my God. So it literally has 10 duo trigintillion zeros behind it. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of zeros. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is too... I don't think that's enough zeros. We got to put a link in the show notes for Googolplex. And also, the story of Google. It was coined in 1920 by Milton Serrata, the 9-year-old nephew of American mathematician Edward Kasner. Kasner asked his nephew to name an unimaginably large number a 1 followed by 100 zeros. Serrata obliged, and the term was later popularized in Kasner's 1940 book Mathematics and the Imagination. Let's see. To help people visualize the concept of a Googol, Kasner and his nephew used it to put physical scales into perspective. There are an estimated 10 to the 80 subatomic particles in the observable universe. Therefore, a Googol is significantly larger than all the atoms in the universe combined. What? Serrata did not stop there. He also proposed the Googolplex. Kasner standardized this to be a 1 followed by a Googol of zeros, which, while it is easy to write this as a mathematical formula, a Googolplex is so massive that it is impossible to physically write it out, even if you turned every atom in the universe into a notepad. What? Decades later, in the late 1990s, Stanford students Larry Page and Sergey Brin were developing a search engine. They wanted a name that represented the vast amount of data their system was designed to organize. They choose Googol, but when registering the domain, they accidentally misspelled it as Googol, Google, which became the name of the internet giant. Wow. So they literally just misspelled it? Because they had heard it. They had heard this word Google, and they just assumed it was spelled Google. Why didn't they go to my podcast and hear me talk about the spelling of words sometimes? Googol, Googol. That's how the Google number is written. Okay. I knew we would have a fun time with that one. They had to make a special little break in the text to show the formula, not the formula, but 10 to the Googol or 10 to the 10 to the 100. That's a lot of zeros. If you want to try to write all those zeros out, a 1 followed by a Googol of zeros, try that. Hey, let's move on to it's goo goo. 2 words with a hyphen. This is the first form. There's 2 forms of goo goo? Adjective from 1900. The synonyms are loving and enticing. This is used chiefly in the phrase goo goo eyes. I got goo goo eyes for you. Oh, my eyes, aren't these eyes so loving and enticing? Don't you want to just love them and hold them and stare at them and give them a hamburger? Goo goo eyes. This is perhaps an alternative of the word goggle. Woo! Woo! Now we have the second form of goo-goo. It is a noun from 1912. This is a member or advocate of a political reform movement. Huh? Really? You're calling a member or an advocate of a political reform movement a goo-goo? The etymology says this is from good government. The G-O-O from good, and then the G-O from government also became goo somehow. I think it should be good government. Then you can have goo-goo. Not until then. Not until you change the spelling of government to government. It kind of feels like right now we have a goo-goo government. Interesting. Goo-goo. Next is gook. Now wait, is it gook? Yes, it is gook. G-O-O-K. First form, noun from 1920. This is it's usually offensive. Yep, that word sounds familiar to me. It is a non-white or non-American person. Specifically, though, that we have the synonym Asian. So, the origin is unknown, by the way, but you know that this was probably said by some random white person who was probably pretty conservative, and they just said it, and then it spread like wildfire. And I think this is from 1920. It's over 100 years ago, and I would like to think that it is not a word that most people are even really aware of, which is good. All of these offensive words, we should be I mean, it's good to be aware of them, but we can just sweep them under the rug, get rid of them, not use them for sure. But yeah, good to just know that they exist. And so you know then not to use it. And so now, if I had known of this word better, then I would have been a little bit more careful when I said the word in the first place. Okay, some people probably don't like to hear it. Now let's move on to the second form of gook is a variation of guck, which is Guck, which we will learn about, later in the G's in a bit. Let's see. What I want to know, I'm looking it up. What I want to know is this one of those offensive words? We have to be aware of this. Where is guck? Guck is going to be over here somewhere. It is not offensive at all. It is similar to goo. We'll just say that. Okay, so that was that, and now we shall go Goombah. Goombah, noun from 1968. Number 1 is a close friend or associate. This is used especially among Italian-American men. Are Italian-American men still using this? If you are an Italian-American man, are you calling your friends Goombah? Number 2, a member of a secret, chiefly Italian-American crime organization. The synonym is mafioso. But broadly, we have the synonym gangster. So, if you are a gangster in the Italian-American world, then you may be called a Goombah, and maybe your friends are calling you Goombah. Maybe you call yourself a Goombah. It's a little bit more chill than the word gangster, I think. Number 3, a macho Italian-American man. This word is consistent. I will give it that. It's Italian-American. Now, are regular Italian people not using this? Is it in Italy? In Italy, are Italian men calling their friends Goombas? I don't know. Maybe it's just an American thing. This word is from the Italian dialect word cumba. By the way, the dialect is campania or campania. So their word is cumba. It's a form of cumbare, which is a respected older man, or literally godfather. Could probably see that coming. From the Middle Latin compater. Oh, compater. Pater, father, is in there. And there is more at compeer. Compeer, so like your peer, your friend, your buddy, your pal, your side, your wingman. Goombah. Okay, so that was an interesting etymology. Came from Godfather. It's not Godfather, but, still in the mafia world, and your friend, your buddy, your Goombah. Hey, Goombah, how's it going? Have you finished writing a Googolplex number? Nope. I'm not. Okay, let's move on. Oh, also, Goombah. I believe those weird brown blobby characters in Mario are Goombas, right? Think so. Spelled differently, probably. Not going to be in the dictionary. That's sad. Why isn't Mario Brothers in the dictionary? Blah! Now we have goon. Noun from 1921. Number 1, a stupid person. Number 2A, a man hired to terrorize or eliminate opponents. And then number 2B, relatedly, the synonym is the 2B definition for the word enforcer. So they have been sent to go do something, to enforce a rule, a law, or just enforce something that somebody said is going to go my way now. Maybe the Godfather sent his Goombas to go be goons. Terrorize or eliminate opponents. This word is probably short for the English dialect word goony, Gooney, which means simpleton. And so, maybe the etymology is, so goony, simpleton, became goon, just a stupid person, simpleton, same idea. And then maybe sometimes, or often, the people who were sent to go be enforcers, to go terrorize people or eliminate the opponent, maybe they were not always on the smart side. Maybe they were on the more large, muscular, strong, intimidating side, but weren't the sharpest block of cheddar, is what I'm saying. Didn't have all the crayons in the box. And so that's why we got them to be called goons. We got that to happen. Yeah. Next is go on. Verb from the 15th century. It looks to be only intransitive. Number 1A. To continue on, or as if on, a journey. As in, life goes on. Was that the name of that show? The Wonder Years was this. Wait, was there a different show called Life Goes On? Maybe. Is that other one? Life goes on. When somebody dies in your life, life goes on. When something ends, life goes on. Life will always go on. Life finds a way, also. Dun, 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 dun. We have another example about continuing on as if on a journey. Life is a journey. That's for dang true. The other example is went on to greater things, continued on their journey after that thing that ended. They were like, that job, I don't like that job. I'm done with that job. I'm going to go on to greater things. I'm going to go on my life path, my journey, whether it's predestined or I'm making it up as I go along. Either way, going on to greater things, greener pastures, better podcasts. 1B for go on is to keep on. The synonym is continue, as in went on smoking. The fires. We've been having a lot of Canadian fires right now, and fires in other places, and they just go on smoking. They just continue. There was no stop in the smoking. The smoking kept on happening. Now I'm imagining a fire just smoking a cigarette. Go on smoking. Okay, now we have 1C. The synonym is proceed, as in went on to win the election. They proceeded after all of the various primaries and events and fundraisers. People love them so much, they proceeded. They went on to win the election. Congratulations. Good luck. Number 2, to take place. The synonym is happen, as in what's going on. What is taking place? What is happening? What right now is going on? Right now, I am recording my podcast. Thank you for asking. It is wonderful, and everybody loves it. Number 3, to talk, especially in an effusive manner, as in the way people go on about their ancestors. That is a quote from Hamilton Basso. Hamilton Basso. The way people go on about their ancestors. They are talking in an effusive manner. Effusive, remind me about effusive. I will wait. You can tell me about that word. Effusive. Is it loving or is it irritating? Those are the two that I think of. I can't remember. Doesn't really matter. The whole point is just, oh my God. It's just, that's kind of, I'm just going on about words here on this podcast. I won't ever stop. Excessive emotion or enthusiasm. Yes. effusive. Is there another definition? Cariform, a lot of lava. Yeah, so it's just like pouring out the emotions. I will always go on about my ancestors and my family. I think that they're all very wonderful, and they you should know about them. Okay, so now we are going on to Goonie. Goonie, spelled Gooney, or with no E, and the plural would be EYS or IES, which, of course, is the spelling of the movie from the 80s, which, of course, everybody loves, called The Goonies. Unfortunately, not everybody loves it. Some people who watch it as an adult or who weren't alive at the time, they're like, nah, it's fine. But I have nostalgia for this. I shall go on about The Goonies. The Goonies? Okay, so now real quick, we saw this word earlier. Goon was a short for Goonie, which is a simpleton. So is that what it is? Let's find out. Goonie is a noun from 1895. The synonym is black-footed albatross, but broadly just the synonym albatross. So this is also probably from the English dialect word goonie, which is a simpleton, which is not in the dictionary. And now I want to see a black-footed albatross. Where is my B? Black. Oh my God, my keys are all off. Black-footed albatross. That's what we want. And why do we call it a goonie? Well, it's based on that word for simpleton. So maybe these albatross birds are kind of dopey, kind of silly. That's just what I'm just going to assume that people saw them and they were like, you know what? That bird looks like a goonie to me. Okay, so now what is the etymology? Why in the movie The Goonies did they call themselves Goonies? Was it based on simpleton? Was there ever a description of where that came from? Let's see. Where did the name Goonie come from in the movie? Lots of typing. Let's see. Blue-collared neighborhood where the kids live in. It's called the Goondocks. I forgot about that. The word is a play on the word goon, and it was used by both the local residents and the wealthier community to describe the kids from this specific area. So are the Goondocks a real thing in that area where they shot in Oregon? And why is it called the Goondocks? Is it because of the goons who were the enforcers? I mean, we've got some kind of stereotypical, maybe they were Italian people. And so, yeah, I could see there were some goons, maybe some Goombas. Okay, now, where are we? We are at Goop. Goop. It doesn't say anything about Gwyneth Paltrow. Probably should. Maybe this came out later, or vice versa. So goop is a noun from circa 1918. The synonyms are goo and gunk. Goopy, that is an adjective. Goopy. Ooh, I think I just licked my microphone. There's that new movie coming out, Clayface, and I saw a quick little clip of that, and it looks like his face sometimes can be kind of goopy. It looks like goop. Makes sense. He's Clayface. This is probably an alternative of the word goo, and I think that is probably pretty accurate. Goop. Why did Gwyneth Paltrow name her company Goop? Well, G for Gwyneth and P for Paltrow. Does she have two middle names that both start with O? I mean, it could be named after her. Goop is a little bit of a weird name for a company like that, though, I think. Right? Why did Gwyneth. How do we spell her name? Name Goop. I'm just going to keep it real short and simple. Let's see. Yes, I know what it is. It began as a small weekly email newsletter sharing, but I want to know the name. Why did Gwyneth name her company Goop? I think I have to put in all of those words. Yes, I know what it is. Where's the information about the name? Where did the name come from? What is the etymology of Goop? Do I have to click on this? Oh, wait. What was this? Then I learned Gwyneth Paltrow named her company Goop because some branding expert told her that all successful internet companies have double O's in their name, so she just put 2 O's between her initials. Yep, that's kind of what I figured out, but I didn't know the successful double O part. This is a podcast. Okay. Did we talk enough about Goop? I think we did, and now we shall go on to goosander. Goosander. That's where the emphasis is. Noun from 1766. This is a new one to me. It is the common merganser of the northern hemisphere. Oh, well, you know all about the common merganser, right? You can tell me all about the common merganser. Okay, I just looked it up. It's a duck. Looks like a duck. Interesting. The word goose is in the name, and it's a duck. Ducks and goose are kind of similar. Ducks and goose and clucks better hurry. Well, I get you out to my Surrey with the fringe on top. I know somebody who mixes up ducks and goose sometimes, and that's okay. So, the species name, by the way, is Mergus merganser. Sounds like the name of somebody in some old British thing. I don't know. Mergus merganser. The origin of goosander is unknown, but it does seem related to goose, right? Goosander. What an interesting word. All right, well, speaking of, we got to now move on to our very last word for this episode. Yeah! It's the word goose. First form, noun from before the 12th century. Number 1A, any of numerous large waterfowl that are intermediate between the swans and ducks, and have long necks, feathered lores, and reticulate tarsi, or tarsi? Maybe it's tarsi. The family name is Anatidae, and, well, I know what gooses look like. I see goose, I have goose that live nearby. Sometimes I see them on the lawn. Sometimes they're on the roof of our building. I see them flying around, driving around. I'll see them hanging out in areas. They love our area. We got the gooses. We sure do. I was in... Which one was this? I think it was when I was in Stockholm for work, and I saw gooses there, and they have a different color pattern. Their geese are different than our geese. It is true. They are intermediate between the swans and the ducks. Well, I mean, I know that from a size standpoint, that makes sense. Ducks are smaller, gooses are a bit bigger, swans are a bit bigger. But when you say intermediate, is there another meaning? Do you mean like, are they not from an evolution standpoint, but is there something more connected between them, or are we literally just talking about size? Probably. Because they're all very different birds. That is true. We need to call it... Oh, no, wait, that's swans. Never mind. I was going to talk about the ugly duckling. I don't know. Ooh, baby gooses, baby geese, they are very cute. If you get the chance, you should go see some baby geese. I've seen some recently, and they're very small and cute and kind of fluffy, right? Because their feathers are different. Okay, now we have 1B for goose. It is a female goose, as distinguished from a gander, which we read in the beginning of the G's. The male goose is the gander, the female goose is the goose, And they're all goose, and plural is geese. Next, number 2, the synonyms are simpleton and dolt. Ah, you're being such a goose. You made such a silly mistake when you put that garbage bin on your head. You were such a goose. Number 3. So the plural for this one would be gooses. That is appropriate because it is a tailor's smoothing iron with a gooseneck handle. The tailor's when the tailor has a bunch of these smoothing irons, he's got gooses because they have a gooseneck handle. And number 4. Why do we call it a gooseneck? Because, yes, the gooseneck is kind of long and skinny, but don't swans have an even longer and skinnier neck? We should be calling them swan necks, I think. I think we should do that. I'm going to do that. It's a swan neck. Number 4, the plural here would also be gooses, and it is... Wait. This is a great way to end the episode. It is a poke between the buttocks. Now, I am aware of this, a goose. I think I always thought it as more of a pinch, but maybe I just had it wrong. And also, it's between the buttocks. I guess maybe I thought it was just, a poke on the buttock, maybe just on the side. Whoop! But no, it's a poke between the buttocks. Where are you poking? Is it up high? Is it down low? Is it in the middle, in between somewhere? I don't know what you're doing. First and foremost, I have to say, if you're gonna goose somebody, you gotta know them. You gotta trust that they're gonna be okay with it. Don't be goosing people you don't know. Consent, okay? Consent. If you want, you could go up to somebody and say, "Excuse me, do you mind if I goose you?" And then they may be like, "What the hell are you talking about? What is a goose?" And then you might have to explain. Well, the dictionary, Spencer says that a goose is a poke between the buttocks. And then they might be like, I would love a poke between the buttocks. That sounds very exciting to me right now here out in public. And most of the time, though, they're probably going to say, no, get away from me, please and thank you, before I call the cops. That is probably much more likely. But maybe some people like a goose, especially if you know them. I don't think I shall be goosing anybody. No. Okay. Goose. I got so many gooses. Woo! There's a goose. Ooh, there's a goose. I got gooses. Woo! Okay, this word is from the Old English goss, akin to the Old High German Gans, which means goose, from the Latin word anser, answer, A-N-S-E-R, also the Greek word chen or chin. So I'm assuming both of those words, the Latin and the Greek word, mean goose. And real quick, we got to look at something. Answer, Latin, probably means goose. And then if we go back to the previous word, goosander, is from the merganser, which means goose. But that's a duck, not a goose. But anyway, they're related. All right, it's time to pick a word of the episode. Words of the episode are really great words. Obviously, they're really great, but not always. Okay, today we had Googol, googly-eyed, Googol, Googolplex, Goo goo, gook, gook, goomba, goon, go on, goonie, goop, goosander, and goose. Whew, which one am I going to pick? I might just pick goop. This was filled with a lot of great words, but I think goop is a good one. Goop, goop, what's that goop running down my head? Oh, you put an egg on my head. All the goop from the egg is falling down my face. I don't like it. It feels gross. I gotta take a shower from all of this goop. Goop. All right, it's movie time. It's movie time. Everybody, let's watch some movies and talk about movies. We love movies. All right, so this next movie that I saw is not a movie that you can see. Maybe someday you can. I don't know. I think it is called ERASERHEAD 2049, or actually, it has some other title, which I think was something about chickens or ERASERHEAD. I think 2049 was like the working title, and they've changed it. Anyway, what this is here we go. ERASERHEAD Fan-Made Chicken Edition. Well, I did not expect this to have a description, but there's enough information out there. It says, an unofficial, scene-by-scene, collaborative recreation of David Lynch's 1977 cult classic Eraserhead, curated by its creator, and then there is I think it's a group of people. Anyway, it's an Instagram collective. It features contributions from dozens of international artists in various wild styles, and one of those various wild international artists is my friend Johnny Lang, who is in Chicago. He was actually on this podcast a while ago, and I think it was for Flan. Well, maybe not for Flan, but I think that was in the episode. And it had an official premiere in Toronto, and then I think that there are these sort of like indie sort of underground screenings happening, and we went to one in Chicago at a very interesting location. And yeah, basically they doled out scenes to these people who requested them. They said, hey, I will do something, and they recreated them in whatever way that they could and wanted to, creatively, financially, and it is very odd and fun and entertaining, especially if you know the movie Eraserhead. If you don't, it is extra goopy. In fact, there is some goopy stuff, at least in the original. Yeah, it's just an odd, fun movie. Eraserhead Fan-Made Chicken Edition. See if you can find it. I don't know. All right, well, that's going to be the end of the episode. That only took a Googolplex of seconds. Let's look that up. How many minutes is a Googolplex of seconds? It's going to be a lot. Let's see. Yes, you're describing me how to do the math. But I need to... No, just tell me. You didn't actually... Did you convert it into minutes? You just give me a formula? Because there are 60 seconds in a minute. You divide the total seconds by 60. In scientific notation, this is... Okay, so I can't do the math. That's too many zeros. It's a lot. Anyway, we're going to not delve into that. If I figure it out later, I'll put it in the show notes. Okay, that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for checking out this show, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.